In this lesson, students will be able to estimate by rounding and using front-end estimation. There are three different categories or situations for estimation: determining an approximate measure, approximating the number of items in a group, or determining the approximate answer to a problem when we don't need the exact answer. Three of the possible ways that you can estimate are compatible numbers, rounding to the closest 10, 100, or rounding to the front end. For example, 389 could be rounded to the hundreds place. The 3 is in the hundreds place, and it would be rounded up to 4, and you would have 400. It could also be rounded to the tens place. 389 is closest to 390. For front-end estimation, just look at the greatest place. Keep that digit and replace all the other digits with zeros. 389 would just be 300. Let's try 519. The greatest digit is in the hundreds place, 5, and then that would be rounded to 500. Now let's look at this bedroom furniture. If we're going to estimate the cost, we could look at the 129 and we could round that to 100. We could look at the 168 and it would round to 200, and the 389 would round to 400, and finally the 87 would round to approximately 100. So you would have 100 plus 200 plus 400 plus 100 would equal 800. Or if you needed a closer estimate, you could round the 129 to 130 by rounding to the tens place, and then round 168 to 170, and the 389 would round to 390. Finally, 87 would round to 90. When you add up the 130 plus the 170 plus 390 plus 90, you would get 880. It depends on the situation, how closely you need the estimate to be. You could use front-end estimation for the cost of this bedroom set. For this method, just look at the front number. In this case, we're rounding to the hundreds place. So 129 is thought of as 100. 168 is thought of as 100. 389 is thought of as 300. And 87 is 0 because you don't have anything in the hundreds place. And that estimate would give you 500. So this method is not always the most accurate. It is, although, the fastest method. So it depends on the circumstance. People often use a combination of the methods to get a more accurate result. For example, if we had the numbers 519, 361, 79, and 435, you could estimate in a variety of ways. The idea is to make it quick and easy and mental. Otherwise, you might as well compute the exact answer. So for example, using front end, 519 would round to the front digit to the 5, and it would become 500. 361, you could round it to 400 instead of using front end, and 79 could be rounded to 80, and 435, you could just use front end and use 400. So by using a combination, I get a much more accurate estimate of 1,380. Another way of rounding these same numbers is to use compatible numbers. So if I round 519 to 520, then I have 361 rounded to 360, and 79 to 80, and 435 rounded to 440. So altogether, if you add up the hundreds, you have 500 plus 300 plus 400, which equals 1,200. Then when you look at the tens, you could use compatible numbers, and you could match the 20 and the 80 to get 100, and the 60 and the 40 to get 100. And when you add those additional 200 to the 1,200, you get 1,400. The idea is to give students the confidence to consider the situation. They might ask, do I need an exact answer or an estimate? They'll need to consider accuracy, just how close of an estimate is really needed. And then when choosing estimating methods, they want to consider, are they easy and practical for this situation? In conclusion, in everyday life, we need the skill of estimation. Your child should develop the ability to choose which methods of estimation fit the situation. They will become proficient in the different methods of estimation as they practice in real life.